So that, you know.
I'm eating, so you're gonna lead us in.
Oh god. Hey guys, back for looks like top 4 with Jim, who is currently eating apparently. Got his banana bread, which apparently contains bread according to the package. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get Isaac versus Tom on the,
Yes, sir.
the top 4 match here.
We are.
Going to be a pretty cool matchup. I just spoke to Tom really quickly just before. Looks like he's playing a blue-red prowess sort of wheels style deck, like a little bit different. Sounds very cool. I've not seen it yet.
Me neither. No,
you
I
featured him on
haven't seen him.
camera? No?
No. The only one in the top 4 that we haven't had on camera.
There
And
we
the
go.
game that is not on the camera for the top 4 is
Of all things.
Ethan Bird that we just saw on Mono Red.
Yep.
And Trent Armstrong, who we saw before on Mono
Also
Red.
on Mono Red.
So
The
if you're
Mono
a
Red
fan of
mirror.
Mono Red, mountains and aggressive creatures and burn spells, you're going to see more of that
There is
next
a ton,
round.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely one Mono Red deck making the finals. Which
That's
is
right.
very cool.
Alright, we'll head down to the table.
Let's see it.
Oh, and it's even Mox versus non-Mox in the red.
Oh, so Trent is the one playing the Moxless version, is he?
Yeah, I think
Cool.
so anyway.
Who do I send it to?
Just me would be great.
Oh, cool.
What's your email address?
Ooh.
Jim plays that card on stream all the time.
Alright, we're here. The match hasn't started because Sellitto is right there sending me the... I mean, I'm pointing, but the camera can't see. He's right there. I can
Fantastic.
touch him from here, sending me his deck list so that we don't have to make it up as we go along.
Yeah, so we are getting access to the deck list, which will be very helpful.
Now, we saw Isaac Egan on stream before, and just as a reminder to fill you in on how the game went, because you weren't there for it.
I was not. I was probably playing my match and maybe winning at that point. Who's to say?
Alright, so... Isaac against Mono Green Ramp.
Green ramp. Was that Glenn? Possibly? No. There's
Aiden.
multiple green ramp decks.
Aiden.
Cool, cool.
And Aiden goes turn 1, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Grim Monolith, go.
That is an opener. Wait, 0 land drops?
What, land... Mana
Land
Crypt,
short.
Mana-
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is definitely an opening.
And Isaac's
You're gonna
like,
tell me
"Oof."
Isaac's was better. Oh.
Isaac's turn 1 was worse. Turn 2 was the Antiquities War.
that is a card. That is in
Turn
Isaac's deck.
3, the Tolarian Academy tapped for 6, and then... I think 9, and then it was untapped for about 25, and Aiden scooped it up.
That is that is a turn.
In the same turn, by the way. Tapping it for 6 and 9 and 25.
Was that candle perhaps?
There was a candle, there was a key for
yeah.
the candle, there was a
Oh.
Hullbreacher and a wheel. By the way, Aiden had no hand at that point.
The usual
And
for
the
Isaac.
treasures could tap for blue because of Urza, Academy Headmaster.
Do the treasures have to tap to sacrifice?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
no,
you don't
no
get to
doubling
double
up.
down, but,
Yeah.
you know, they get to double down in being Tolarian Academy as well.
That is also true. Do we know who's on the play who was high seed in the Swiss here?
The top seed was not Isaac. Isaac's 8th.
I believe,
I
believe. I think Ethan is 8th from memory. I believe Trent was definitely first seed,
Okay.
and he was playing Ethan.
Well, from the game, I'm going to say Sellitto's on the play.
I'm going to agree with you.
Either that or Isaac had a real weird opening.
Oh, speaking of weird openings, this is definitely something. City of Traders is his first land drop into the Monolith Manifold Key. This is a lot of brown permanents on Isaac's side of the board here.
You got something against brown permanents?
No, I really like the old border. You can't see them
Good.
on the foiling on the stream currently, but I believe that Grim Monolith and that Manifold Key are both foil, because if anybody knows Isaac, it's Isaac.
Isaac loves his cool cards.
He does. And yeah, Manifold Key getting a Time Spiral Remastered Old Border reprint here. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say any card that is in Isaac's deck that could have had a printing is probably that and foil.
I got to call out, I love Sellitto's reply here. Isaac Egan is like, alright, here's all my stuff. I've got a pile of artifacts. I'm going to make a ton of mana next turn. Sellitto's like, okay, bolt you.
Did he just bolt his face?
Yeah, get him.
That is something. That is good. Got to assert the dominance here. Having said that, Isaac does have the combination of Tinker plus Bolus's Citadel in his deck. Bolting face is not nothing. Like, his life total is relevant.
Yeah, definitely.
That is some dominance asserted for sure.
Cool hand, you're on 17.
Yeah. Looks like Isaac has cracked his bauble here.
I didn't see what was seen from the bauble.
Yeah, definitely didn't see that one. interested to see Isaac's play here because he did lead on, as we saw, the City of Traders. Looks like he has some white border card in here that I can't tell. This is Incinerate. So, Vase is the place for Tom. Sure. Here we are, yeah. He's just playing like Ethan's deck from last round. Or not Ethan's deck, depending on who you talk to. Ethan,
And that's the thing, right? Ethan, the blue-red deck is just burn plus, brainstorm and treasure cruise.
Absolutely, yeah. Isaac does have Inventor's Fair in hand, I believe. Neglecting to play that because obviously he has the City of Traders. Yeah, he does have the City of Traders for sure.
Yeah.
No.
Have you got a better one?
The current one.
There's a current one?
I don't like it. That one. It's fine. So City is gone because he played Tolarian Academy.
Dang,
fantastic.
My 2-mana land is gone.
So,
now it only taps for 2.
Just doing some back-end stuff here.
Oh.
Yeah, this is going to be a turn if he's sacrificing his City here. Because he's got 2 colours, 2 blue in pool currently. Let's see what he does with it. Yeah, it does have that Inventor's Fair currently in hand. Can't make a land drop, already has done that. Can't really make out the rest of Isaac's hand. It looks like he has a white border card, which I'm not sure what other white border cards are in his deck, but he does have a Twister in his deck, so maybe it's the Twister.
Could be a duel as well. I mean, we do actually have access to the
deck.
Yeah,
could definitely be a duel. What duels does Isaac play? I've not seen...
That's a great question. Let's have a look through his list for white-bordered cards. Gee whiz. Fast Bond, maybe.
I don't think it's green, but I'm not 100% sure on
that. His Manifold is Expedition.
Of course. Oh, here it is. Looks like this tanker have been cast here. Sellitto picking his hand up and fanning. No response.
3 blue jewels. Trop, Underground Sea, Volcanic Island.
I did get a little bit of a glimpse. It might be the Underground Sea.
And Wheel of Fortune is the final possible white border.
Sure. As Isaac is known to be, gets his foil heavily miscut Bolus's Citadel from this tinker here. Very, very nice.
Oh yeah.
So against the aggressive deck, like we said before, Tom was turn 1 bolt you, turn 2 incinerate you. He was, keen on lowering Isaac's life total because of, this situation.
And the cards aren't going to go anywhere else. You're not holding them for. Isaac's creatures. I mean, sure, there's Hullbreacher in the deck name, but that's not the point of the deck, right?
Yeah, it definitely just Hullbreacher, Narset, those sort of effects combined very favorably with Wheel. Favorably for Isaac, probably not his opponent. Looks like a Sylvan Scrying. I think this is Scrying. I think this is a Time Spiral remastered foil copy of Sylvan Scrying.
And that's a Minamo,
yeah.
School at Water's Edge.
Don't think this is doing anything funky this turn. Unless Isaac does find something like a Fast Bond.
Okay.
Which you mentioned that is in his deck before.
Oh, well and truly, yeah. Yep. He's a huge fan of the Fast Bond combo kill with, Zuran Orb, Crucible of Worlds.
Did see the Zuran Orb in play on the table next to me earlier today. Love that. Just obviously casting the Scrying up the Citadel to clear the deck and try to keep going. Can't really see what this dice is on. Is this is probably a Storm dice? Oh, and maybe I was right. It does look like it was a Twister as the white border card in his hand. And a Stomp from Sellitto here. Isaac's on 10.
Just on the way out, All right, we're gonna ditch my hand, but have one of these,
Yeah, absolutely. So Isaac down to 10, Sellitto down to 17 by the looks for this one. Isaac pretty keen on wheeling here. Obviously, an incredible effect with the Citadel in play.
Yeah.
Isaac gets to see a fresh 7, and anything that he sees off the top of his deck with Citadel, and obviously his other cantrip effects, and a lot of hand waving going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
He might have maybe Sellitto stomped Isaac and then didn't adventure the giant, perhaps.
Okay.
Is that what we're seeing here?
Is they haven't drawn fresh hands yet.
So Jazza619 in the chat says, I think he shuffled in his Bone Crusher. That is what I believe has happened as well. Yeah, I can't imagine that this is not just the easy fix of go through the deck, get the Bone Crusher giant out.
Especially because Sellitto hasn't drawn his cards yet.
Exactly. Yeah, neither of them have looked, so it looks like it should be all well and good. Here is the Bone Crusher.
We got a pretty nice glimpse at Sellitto's deck. Decklist there. It looks like just, you know, Ethan Bird's deck plus some
Plus
draw
blue cards, yeah.
and some flash threats and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Does Tom have Hullbreacher in his deck?
Hullbreacher, yes.
He does, in fact, yeah.
Do see a Hullbreacher.
What blue cards are we looking at here? We've got a list in front of us here. Narset, Hullbreacher. So there are some wheel effects in Tom's own deck. Looks like they're both Isaac and Tom are trying to do some shenanigans with their Hullbreacher Narset wheel effects.
Sure, 2 mocks as well, Ruby and Sapphire.
Ruby and Sapphire are the points here. What's the 7th point? Wasteland. By the looks of it, yeah.
Was supposed to be Time Twister. But funny story, Sellitto borrowed this deck from Isaac's partner Wan Shin.
Yep, who is known for playing this blue-red tempo deck.
And they share a Time Twister.
And Isaac may or may not, who's to say, have just cast the Time Twister that they share.
That very one, yes. The Time Twister can't be in 2 decks at the same time.
It definitely can't, which is a tragedy for this matchup for Tom. What is this card?
It's a 2-cost...
Looks like a talisman of, I want to say curiosity, I think blue-green talisman. It definitely is a talisman, though.
It is definitely a talisman, so I'm going to put talisman on the screen. Here you go.
Dealing himself a point down to 9,
You can figure it out.
Yeah, it is curiosity for sure. Yeah, down to 9 off that talisman to cast his Hullbreacher that he had in his hand. And then
That's
we've got
a big threat.
It is. We've got a Mishra's Bauble here as well. Isaac has a lot of things in play, but can't keep going with the Citadel by the looks of it, and is on 9, so the Citadel is not going to give him, you know, 6, 7, 8 more cards next turn. Does have to trim a bit, playing against a burn deck that he just gave. I believe Tom did draw 7 cards. The Hullbreacher was not in play.
Have you ever seen someone more weak to Wasteland?
Yeah, look, Isaac's not going to have a great time against the Wasteland that is in Tom's deck instead of this Time Twister. It would be very funny if you punished him by drawing that the Wasteland, excuse me.
And that
right
is a Sulfuric Vortex.
It is a Vortex. Looks like Tom takes a point off of his Islet there, so he's on 16, I believe. Yep, cracking the bauble, looking at Tom's top card, which we didn't get a good look at here. Yep, Vortex is good. Isaac has paid a substantial amount of life here for the Citadel, and Tom went face with his 2 burn spells on turn 1 and 2 of the game, so...
It also means that Isaac no longer has access to the sort of combo kill in the deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
The, you know, you assemble the Citadel that's in play, and you follow it up with Zuran Crucible, the other card. What's the other card?
Zuran Crucible as well as Fast One,
yeah,
which is obviously infinite life.
Infinite life, infinite
mana. Yep.
And then you cast cards from the top of your deck until your opponent gets bored.
It does, in fact, put your deck into play. I was going to say most of the time, but with the Fast One, is literally every time, right? Yeah.
And
very
Isaac
cool.
Had an Abrupt Decay on the top of the library.
Very timely into this Vortex.
Yeah, it wasn't reinforcing. It was.
Looks like this Academy is tapping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds
with
about
a Tree
right.
of Tails as the land drop for the turn.
Here, Crucible.
Here is the Crucible. Yeah.
Looks like they've agreed on 1 mana floating, which I disagree with.
I also disagree. I see Citadel, Talisman, Tree, Manifold Key, Grim Monolith when he tapped. So that is 5 artifacts. This is a defense grid. We might. I'm not sure what the other 1 mana was spent on.
It looks like they're happy with what they've got there.
It doesn't look like Isaac is doing anything else. Not sure if that was a bit of a misstep there. I do count 5, but you know, the math major probably not very good at math. Who's to say?
I'm not a math major yet. I'm still waiting to transfer.
Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah. Tom has a million cards in hand by way of that wheel before the Hullbreacher.
Yeah, and Isaac's on 4.
He's on a precarious life total for sure. Looks like Isaac actually...
And there's a defense grid on, so...
There is. He tapped that talisman and took a point, is that correct? What card did... Oh, he needed the green mana for the Abrupt Decay. He did.
And the Tree of Tails was under the Abrupt Decay on top of the library.
Sure. Where did he get the black mana from?
Life.
No, he cast the Decay, excuse me. My mistake. Sorry.
Keep up. I think he's actually on 5.
All of Isaac's cards are so fancy and foily and miscard. I can't tell which is which.
Mate, I am 15 rounds deep.
That is correct, you are.
8 rounds yesterday, 7 rounds in today. One still to go.
I'm only 13 rounds deep, alright? I played all 8 rounds yesterday, but only 5 today.
Yeah.
So, look.
Shame, really.
It is a shame. No, you're doing a fantastic job, though, Jim.
Mate, someone's got to.
Yeah, definitely. No.
I don't know where I'm going with that, but...
No, both days have been a ton of fun so far.
Quick permanent count for Isaac, 9.
Quick permanent count, yes. He's got many permanents, 9.
Not 10.
This looks like an exquisite firecraft.
That can't be counted.
That definitely can't be counted, and this is a lava man.
Alright.
That is lethal next turn.
I have presented lethal.
Deal with it,
worst.
So this is cutting Isaac off tapping the talisman for mana.
Yep.
His mana situation...
They can tap for colours.
It can tap for colours. Coloured mana, excuse me. He does have Tree of Tales in Tolarian Academy. He does have those colours rolled up already. He's that Inventor's Fair I did see in his hand earlier. I believe he did wheel since I saw that card. Academy for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 7.
Yep.
Blue. Yep.
They agree.
Got the count here, yeah. That's a lot. Ooh, cracking in the fair. Does he have the requisite metal craft? Looks like it. Wonder what he's going to get here. So he has 3 floating, and he has Manifold Key, Grim Monolith, Tree, and the Colourless as you
So it's Crucible.
mentioned before, yeah.
So there could be Zero.
A lot of mana.
But we still need fast bombs to complete the lock, you know?
Can gain, what, 2 to 4 life here, sacking his lands, but...
Yep, that's... I mean, it's a turn, sure.
Yep. And this is the Zuranor pulled to the front of the deck by Isaac.
And with the Crucible, so there's 2 life every turn, but that's not going to get there in the long run, you know?
Yeah.
Isaac,
So...
flipping through the list, I mean, I'm going to flip through Isaac's list as well and see what I can come up with here.
So if he fetches and casts Zuran Orb, he can float mana and make, 2 or 4 life off his 2 lands. Maybe he can sit it up into something from that point.
I think Isaac might have pulled Jar out.
Oh, there's the jar. Yep, okay.
And I think that
Let's
was
see
actually the only line he has.
Yeah. He did think about the Zuran Orb a little bit. It was at the front of his deck, but...
Yeah, it's only going to buy a turn.
Yeah.
Next turn, you sack a land, go to 3, and then Sellitto just plays a 4/3.
Yeah. Yeah, if he did have Fast Bond in the deck, he can cast it off the tree, fetch the Zuran Orb, and try and go off like that.
Yeah, you need the Fast Bond in hand.
Yeah, obviously doesn't have the Fast Bond in hand yet. Memory Jar... Sellitto, thumbs up.
Oh.
Did he... Oh!
It's the Hullbreacher.
Of course. That's a lot of treasures.
God, we're so good at this.
We are very good. Look, Isaac's deck has a bunch of very cool and interesting interactions. Isaac doing the very astute play there of holding priority with the Memory Jar on the stack. And looking at his top card off balls as Citadel before drawing his cards.
And now he's got access to 7 mana of various colours.
Yeah.
Shapes and sizes. And his opponent has no cards in hand.
He sure doesn't.
So now Zuran Orb is actually, like...
Orb is very good here, yeah. But depending on what Isaac has found, looks like...
It's only no cards in hand until the end of turn, hey? Yeah.
Yeah, he does get his hand back.
Just because Isaac didn't have enough coloured mana.
Yeah, Sellitto does just still have this Lava Mancer in play. If Isaac has not found anything of relevance here, he is still dead on board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait and see. Looks like we do have some castables though, looking at what to do with this
I think I saw the Antiquities War.
Oh, that would be a nice one. I believe I see City of Traders as a card, so that's not very good here. Already has made his land drop, which was the Inventor's Fair this turn.
Ah, very true. I missed that. I was like, yeah, no, he untapped with Academy and Tree.
Yeah, did fair for the Memory Jar here.
And we'll keep an eye on that. Perhaps the players might miss that, and
it is the Antiquities War.
I'll go sprinting out there and find out.
So this was
Brainstorm
Manifold Key.
Zuran Orb.
Or did you find it?
And land.
Does find Zuran Orb here.
Okay. And no fast bond in those in those 7.
So it is in the top half of his deck, or top 80% of his deck.
And now, if he plays it, sacrifices a land to go to 3, he can't cast it from the top of his deck.
He can. That is true. Paying some mana here, sacking some treasures. What is this? Is this the... No.
Trinket
Mage. Interesting. What's that going to get?
Well, it's not going to go get fast bond. I hope that helps.
Sadly.
Candelabra?
Ooh, Candelabra for the Tolarian Academy. I don't think mana is Isaac's bottleneck currently.
Candelabra is definitely better than Voltaic Key. I think that's about the extent of the options, really. You could go get like Mox Opal, Mox Diamond, which Diamond's already in play.
Yeah.
Expedition Map.
A lot of stuff going. Tyrone in chat says this board is a mess. I would tend to agree. There are a lot of things happening.
I don't know what you're talking about. I see 4 lands, a Green Lavamancer, a Jarred Hand, and a Giant Honored Adventure. Where's the problem?
Plenty. Yeah, exactly. It's easy to read.
This is entirely readable. Jeez.
Nick in the chat saying, is there a Time Vault in Isaac's deck? There is not.
No, the points are in Tinker instead.
Yeah, Tinker,
So,
Time Twister, or
looking
the
at the
Tinker
points-
package, I should say.
The points we have Fast Bond, we have Mana Vault, we have 1 in Twister, 2 in Tinker.
Wishclaw Talisman.
Yep, and then there's one other. He was talking about whether to play Wishclaw or Time Spiral.
Spiral, interesting.
Academy is the 7th point, obviously.
There you go, of course.
Jeez.
So yeah, Isaac did just Trinket Mage for Expedition Map. Crack
Okay.
all of his treasures to find Flooded Strand. So this is just shuffling for more looks at the Citadel.
Yep. Absolutely.
Strand is not great at 1 life, turns out.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 lands in play. Sacrifice them both. Go to 5.
That is true.
Who
Isaac
needs
looking
a stinking Academy anyway, hey?
at his card off the Citadel. So technically he's not dead with the Zurun and the 2 lands.
Alright, question.
Tom does just get his hand back.
Question.
Yep.
You're in Tom's seat.
Yes.
I'm Isaac. I go to combat.
With
I send in the Hullbreacher.
Hullbreacher. Oh.
You block it?
What? Look, I've borrowed cards, very pretty cards off Isaac before.
Yep.
He's known to play with a specific zombie ninja. There is absolutely no way that card is in his deck. But knowing Isaac, that he would put the fear into me, for sure.
Absolutely.
There's no way that you block with Lavamancer there, but if it was me, I would be very scared.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess my question here was more so, he's on 15.
Yep, he is.
Citadel is 10 damage in play.
Oh, that is correct. Sacrifice 10 non-land
10
permanents.
Permanent. No, I think can it do lands as well?
I don't believe it sacks lands. I'm not 100% on that.
Bolus Citadel.
I draft Citadel very sparingly in the Vintage Cube when that's online.
Non-land.
Non-land
You're right.
cards.
Well, I mean, there's definitely at least 10 there.
I wonder if he has 10.
There's only 2 lands in play. Like,
Yeah.
who cares about the
Yeah,
rest?
the rest is trivial, I think, for Isaac. Isaac looks like he has 2 or 3 cards in hand that are not the Flooded Strand. Rubbing his hands together very maliciously.
We're here on day 2 of the Tabernacle Games Easter Eternal Weekend. It's been a blast so far. I mean, I've loved the coverage.
Has been a ton of... but not speaking for anyone in particular.
I had to make this thingy for putting draws on the screen. I had to make this thingy for putting Infect on the screen. Oh, it has been a while.
Doing God's work, Jim. Doing God's work. No, I definitely went back and rewatched the coverage after I left yesterday. Ton of fun to watch, ton of fun to play.
Yeah, and
both days have been just fantastic, for sure.
You could be watching this from YouTube right now. How you going? How's the future? I hope things are
How's
alright.
the future?
Things are a little bleak at this point in time, but hopefully things are doing well in the future.
And if you are on YouTube and watching on, I would imagine the Epic Epic channel on
that'll
YouTube.
be it, yeah.
Come over and check out some VODs or live content on the Twitch. I've got a shill.
But
here.
also, like, the deck lists will be posted with the YouTube videos.
Yes.
That's
for sure.
That's the current plan. When I upload them to YouTube, they'll have deck lists alongside them there. So if you're watching live and you don't have access to the deck lists, be sure to come in here. And they'll be on the internet at some point.
Still just waiting to see what's going on here. Players have paused for a little bit.
I'm wondering if there's a judge call or something.
There might be a judge call. It does look like a judge call because they're both kind of... There's no arm waving. They're kind of being very still. Wonder what the... Is there a life total discrepancy maybe?
Alright, sacking. Go to 3. Okay.
3 up the Zurun.
Ooh, picking up the Academy.
This has to pain Isaac. This has to. Alright, up to 5 we go.
Is this a pass turn? Come on, Isaac. You missed the
it
attack last
looks
turn.
like it. It looks... He missed the attack last turn, he says. Discarding his hand from the memory jar, it does look like a pass.
Ooh, okay.
0 lands, not short on mana. Okay.
Flashes and Incinerate.
Yeah, Incinerate plus Lava Mancer activation will deal the 5.
So we'll come back into the booth here, but I think Isaac didn't attack the turn before. Now, granted, might have been stressing about a hasty creature, Goblin Guide, that sort of thing coming out of Sellitto.
Yeah,
And
which is
didn't
very
attack
relevant.
that turn.
Yeah, not attacking that turn. I guess same thing. He has no other creatures in play.
No, there's Trinket Mage in play this turn. But
What is going on here? Sellitto has 0 permanents in play.
they were looking at the top card to
Yeah.
see what was happening next.
Sure.
Missing the attack the turn before, that 3 damage could have put Sellitto down to 12.
Yeah,
And then this turn, the attack would have been a forced block.
Yep.
And in that scenario where Sellitto was like, alright, I've got this Incinerate, would have been like, okay, go to 2.
Exactly.
And maybe the game would continue in some fashion where Isaac manages to find a path there.
Yeah, definitely. There absolutely were a bunch of cards in hand for Sellitto after the Memory Jar gave him his hand back. Some of them might not have been burn spells.
Alright, so let's check out the sideboards. I have access to Thomas Sellitto's sideboard here. We have Ashiok Dreamrender, Blue Elemental Blast, Dismember, Pharaoh Macabre, Flusterstorm, Grafdigger's Cage, Hydroblast, Negate, Niv Mizzet Perun, Nullrod, Pyroblast, Pyroclasm, Red Blast, Smash to Smithereens, Submerge.
Niv Mizzet Perun is an interesting one for sure.
That's not the first time we've seen that today, but the other time was in the top end of Blue Moon, not the top end of Burn.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this 6 mana, incredibly difficult to cast card. I mean, I love me a Niv Mizzet Perun, don't get me wrong, that card is phenomenal. I can't imagine it comes in here.
What does?
Yeah.
I can see 2 All-Stars.
Yeah, so Ashiok is obviously just going to be...
That wasn't what I was thinking,
fantastic.
But sure, Ashiok's pretty good
I think
too.
Ashiok's fantastic as well.
Third on the list, behind Nullrod.
Yep.
You know, Tolarian Academy taps for how much? Alright, well, that's the only thing tapping for mana.
Yeah. Turns off all of the rocks.
Smash to Smithereens, it's just the perfect shatter for a mono red.
Absolutely.
Capital R, lowercase other color deck.
Goes face and gets rid of these
like
artifacts.
that Searing Blaze we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, obviously Nullrod and Smash are both going to come in. Isaac's shown, Tinker, Sylvan Scrying, Expedition Map.
Yeah,
Ton of tutor effects, yeah.
From Isaac's
Ashiok
side,
going to be very good.
we've got Blightsteel Colossus. We've got access to 4 Blast, 2 Hydro, 2 Pyro.
Yep.
I think they're all coming in. Dismember, Engineered Explosives, Ensnaring Bridge, Fairy Macabre again. Hibernation, Mycosynth Lattice, Phyrexian Metamorph, Raven Form, Tormod's Crypt, Toxic Deluge.
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, I do like a lot of the blasts. Depending on how many blue cards Isaac actually expects his opponent to have,
Sure.
he may or may not bring in both red blasts.
Okay.
I could see maybe just bringing in one. I assume the deck is, a bit lower on the blue spells, but they are probably very important.
Yeah.
And obviously, Tom is playing a deck that Isaac has built and played with his partner, and he's probably going to know the deck and how to sideboard quite well.
Very true. Yeah, Isaac's going to have very big knowledge of what is in Thomas's deck.
Yeah. I wonder if this Blightsteel is going to come in as a better Tinker target. I say in air quotes better than Citadel, which obviously
I mean, did we see a
bit
Dak
tough.
Faden in the list? There is a Dak Faden.
There is a Dak.
in
There
the
you go.
main for Sellitto, so I think that is just enough to say no thanks to the Blightsteel Colossus.
Yeah. Balls of Citadel obviously did a lot of work that game in particular, but it did end up, not getting there. So.
Alright, well, I'm waiting to hear an update on what the score is on the mono red mirror on the other table. All I know is it's game 2, so the red deck is up a game.
Which one? Who's to say?
Who knows? Look, anything else in the sideboard here for Isaac looking good?
Isaac.
A lot of these are married to the main deck, Khan the Great Creator.
Yes.
The Mycosynth Lattice is tied to it. I think the Metamorph is related to the Khan as well.
Yep.
Ensnaring Bridge and Engineered Explosives could both come in.
Yep. Khan is a card that I've played a lot with in the modern format.
Yep.
And there are times where, obviously it's different in Highlander being only 1 Khan compared to 3 or 4 copies. Yep. But there are times where Khan is sometimes too slow, and you trim a couple copies and you bring in, 1 or 2 of the artifacts that you do usually get. So I could see something like the Engineered Explosives coming in because spending 4 mana on Khan to fetch it then casting it on, X amount of mana, and
Yeah.
then cracking it is a lot of mana.
Have you seen Isaac's deck?
I hear he likes to make quite a substantial amount of mana.
Like, he had a turn there where he cast a lot. He played Inventor's Fair,
He did cast a lot, that is true.
Played Jar, cracked it. Played out most of the hand.
7 treasures off the Hullbreacher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nuts.
definitely. There was one card in Isaac's sideboard down the bottom there that I did see that I like. Yeah, Toxic Deluge.
Okay.
So obviously the life loss is very relevant, but specifically for these combo styles of decks like Isaac's, just trying to buy the time in the early turns. Like if Sellitto starts with something like a 1-drop into double 1-drop draw.
Yep.
Or 1-drop into 2-drop even. Deluge killing both of those threats, especially if he mulligans or something like that.
I mean, how creature heavy is Sellitto's deck? That's the question.
Yeah,
We've
let's
got
have a squeeze here.
Giant, Borrower, Delver, Eidolon,
Yeah.
Guide, Rabmaster, Lavamancer. Okay, so it is relatively creature
What
heavy.
a decent amount of 1-drops and 2-drops.
Robber of the Rich?
Ooh, that is a nice one. Ethan is that we saw last round is a huge fan of that card.
Yeah, alright, well, we'll head down to the table. We look like we're drawing some opening hands here. And see what happens for game 2.
Looking at some hands here. Don't believe any mulligans have been made yet.
No, they've only just drawn their 7s. Looks like Isaac pretty happy with his 7.
Gridgem in chat saying they played in the Swiss and Isaac won 2-0.
Wow, okay.
Definitely interesting.
Update from the other table. This looks like a mulligan, but I'm going to show you.
Yeah, but I'm going to show you how sick my hand could have been. Looks like we do see a Raven form in the hand though.
Yeah, Fastbond Crucible, Raven Form, Bauble, Tinker.
Echo of Eon's Polluted Delta, I believe, were the other 2 cards.
Update from our other table. Ethan is up a game over Trent in the Red Mirror.
Ethan is obviously one of the very good mono red players in the city, and but him being up a game in the mirror, shows his confidence in his version of the deck.
Was he? Did you say he was 8th?
I believe Ethan was 8th seed, so I imagine that he was on the draw then.
Yeah.
Wow. Breaking serve for game 1.
That's
huge
sweet.
deal for sure. Yeah.
Sellitto is keeping a 7.
Okay, and let's see what Isaac ends up keeping.
I mean, there's enough draw 7s between them that it doesn't really matter how big the starting hand is.
True. The breaking point there being whether someone has a Hullbreacher or Narcissus in play.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether Sellitto kept his draw 7s in.
Yeah, it's definitely a game of cat and mouse where, excuse me, where both players have both of those effects. And, 3 or 4 wheels.
I want to see the game where Isaac plays Hullbreacher, passes, Sellitto passes back, Isaac wheels, Sellitto Hullbreachers.
That can get pretty scrappy.
We'll both shuffle up, get 7 treasures, go.
Yeah, top deck battle, let's go.
That sounds like a commander card though, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to play
All
that.
players shuffle their hand in and make 7 treasures.
That reminds me of a story. I believe, looks like Isaac is keeping 6 as well, for the game. I believe, I read somewhere that, I think Kai Buddha was in top 8, maybe finals of a GP, or maybe an early PT even, some high level event, was playing against his friends, and they agreed to mulligan to 0, both of them, to just play, I believe it was even in game 3, to do that. So, I could see Isaac and Tom, obviously very good friends, getting this Hullbreacher battle in.
Is there anyone that Isaac's not good friends with?
Also true, Isaac's fantastic.
When you're that good of a person,
Yeah. Stalwart of the Melbourne and Australia as a whole Magic scene.
And the world. I'm going to go out there,
Yeah, for sure.
The whole universe.
7-point scoop in chat saying, I guarantee Isaac will go back and rewatch that last game. I would tend to agree.
He'll look for where it could have been improved.
Yeah, there were definitely a ton of decisions in that game.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yeah.
Citadel is a very powerful card when it's in play, but it also gives you a ton of decisions, and obviously by that, a ton of errors to make as well. Of all players though, Isaac is going to make the absolute least amount of errors, I think.
Hey, funny story.
Oh,
The judge manager for Australia and New Zealand is also the judge manager for India and Space.
And Space,
Yeah,
even?
Space.
How many judges are there in Space, Jim?
I'm not the judge manager.
Look, fair. That's fair. Sellitto has been putting into play a turn 1 Delver here.
Turn 1
and
Delver.
He did throw the Insectile Aberration into play to start with. He's very, very confident that one was going to flip.
Call your shots.
Yeah, and looks like it has not flipped, so punished.
19 apiece here. Isaac just with land, Mox Diamond, land.
Yeah. 3 artifacts in play, though.
3.
Oh. Null Rod from Sellitto met by Abrupt Decay.
Okay, so that was a
floating mana in response, I would
yeah,
imagine.
a little bit of a shortcutted float mana decay your Null Rod.
That could have been big. Even the game on the spot with the Null Rod.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, especially with this opening,
Yeah.
Of the lands in Isaac's deck, some of them are artifacts.
Some of them.
Artifacts don't artifact with a Null Rod in play.
That is very true. Very concise. What is this card that Isaac just casted the counter on it?
Is that a Blast Zone?
Looks like it is a Blast Zone, yeah. He put it next to the Mox Armor, wasn't sure if it was a land or not. I do believe it is a Blast Zone. Looks like we've got a reader here for not only myself, but Sellitto as well. And Dimmy's Signet. Yeah, Isaac did need that Abrupt Decay in hand at that point. If you drew it the following turn,
absolutely.
No luck, wouldn't be able to cast it.
I mean, the Blast Zone can nab a Null Rod, but it's not fast.
Yeah. And
it's X to tick up, so you've got to have Blast Zone and 2 other lands, and then you need a 3rd one to crack it.
And if that Null Rod was in play, Isaac would have 0 mana sources other than the Blast Zone.
That said, though, right? You play Blast Zone this turn, you play Tolarian Academy next turn.
And there he is.
There he is.
Academy is pointed for a reason. Card is very tough. Recently deep
from 2, now 1.
Yeah. Which is a decision I like a lot. It saw play at 2 for sure.
It saw a little bit of play.
Yeah, opens up a lot of cool, interesting decks. I don't think it's too good at one point. So committee doing a pretty darn good job there, I think.
Yeah, from my perspective, it got unbanned. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, I got to build an Academy deck," and built like 20 different Academy decks. And now it's like a reasonable portion of the metagame where there's one in this top 8. That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah, which is a good number. If it was 5 or 6,
if it was
maybe
5 or 6, then
maybe something to look at.
We'd made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I mean that's the thing, right? Sometimes, the points committee is only human.
Absolutely. Human
and
warriors for a creature type, perhaps. Unsure.
And sometimes mistakes do happen, but Tolarian Academy, not a mistake. Great. Well, I mean, Tolarian Academy itself is probably a mistake. Tolarian Academy going to 1 point.
I think 3, maybe 2 of that cycle of lands were a mistake. The other being, of course, Gaia's Cradle.
Nah, Shib and Gorge.
Shib and Gorge was also a mistake. That is just factual.
In the other direction.
Yeah, that one is... I'm not going to lie and tell you that I even remember what that card does because it is not playable in any way, shape, or form.
I think it's like red tap deal a damage if you control a beast or something.
If you control a beast.
2 red tap. Ship and Gorge deals 1 to each of your opponents.
Fantastic. Look,
yeah, great.
Look, there's probably some deck that wants it. I'll ask Ethan after the round is done if this card is at least playable in mono red.
I'll give you a hint. It's not.
It's not. Having a look at here, second game, yeah, got a Swifter and a Delver, and Delver still has not flipped.
It's not where you want to be.
Not
and if you're Isaac, not only do you know now that your opponent has, not flipped it for 2 turns, but you know that at least 2 of the cards in their hand are not instants and sorceries.
Absolutely.
Not interaction, so to speak.
Isaac does have this Blast Zone on 1 as well.
Looks like a Expedition map getting mentally misstepped there.
Not a bad target for this misstep here.
You've got to feel pretty good if you're in Isaac's seat and you just pay 3.
Is Isaac 0 cards in hand?
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, getting to misstep the map from Sellitto's spot is equal to misstepping Tolarian Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. Or Inventor's Fair.
Oh, Inventor's Fair might have actually been the find there. You're correct, yeah.
In this situation, I mean, you kind of need both, right? You need the Academy, and that's not a flip again.
That's really tough. Does use the Delver there to scry with the Bloodstained Marrow. I don't believe he's drawing the card for turn yet.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, good little trick. Obviously not super happy to not have a flipped Delver at this point, but getting, half a scry off of it is not nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Update from our other game. Mono Red wins. against Mono Red. Ethan Bird through to the finals, so we'll see Ethan's Mono Red deck
Yep.
for the third time today, I think. Did we? No, only the second. Only the second.
And Ethan did promise me before the top 8 that he would try his best to run back my my win from yesterday and get the Volcanic for himself.
Just humbly drop that one in the competition.
Look,
there, you know.
look. I didn't mention it before that. I believe that you mentioned it to start with. Look, I've got to get what I can. So it looks like this Delver is dead. The Blast Zone that we saw from Isaac did get cracked and is killing the 2 cards.
And you've got to be happy with your card choice when that happens.
For sure. Ooh. Having said that, this is a nice follow-up. The Sulfuric Vortex for Tom.
If there was a card you wanted to blow up with the Blast Zone, Sulfuric Vortex is a good one.
It is. Looks like a Wasteland on Waterlord Grove as well, cutting Isaac off any extra card draw. Didn't quite get a glimpse of what
I think
Isaac
that was
just
Botanical
drew.
Sanctum. Maybe it's Waterlord Grove. I could be wrong.
The Waterlord Grove is what got Wastelanded, yep. Looks like he's Isaac's patented miscut foil.
You're entirely right. He definitely doesn't play Botanical Sanctum.
It's preordained by the looks of it. He looks like it. He tapped Dimmy's Signet, so he's cashing in his blue mana from the Signet and has a black floating still. Just tight technical play from Isaac to maximize here. It's nice. Looks like a bottom. Hasn't found anything fantastic, and it definitely was a bottom if you're drawing a fetch. Alright, Vortex. Dinging Tom as well.
Yeah, take that. Symmetrical card effects. Get him.
Red for Robber. Let's see this.
Oh, baby.
And we're hitting... God, this card is so cool.
Yeah, this could be really bad news.
Mentioning the best zombie ninja in the game, Fallen Shinobi last game. This is the smaller red version. Does get to see cards off the top of your opponent's deck, and you get to cast them if you've attacked with a rogue.
That said,
that turn.
Isaac's unlikely to ever have more cards in hand than Sellitto at this point.
Yeah. So what did we see? What got exiled with the Robber of the Rich? Excuse me.
Nothing. Because Isaac's Hellbent.
I believe it's cards off top of the deck.
Yeah, if you.
Oh, he has no cards in hand. Excuse me.
He only robs the rich.
He does rob the rich. That is a huge flavor win. Absolutely.
All right, Bauble. Still no cards in hand, baby.
Well, look, but the secret hidden mode of Robber is a 2/2 haste creature, and Isaac is very low. Yeah. Vortex ticking down on him.
That's exactly it. Yeah, this Vortex is kind of having its way. Yeah, hey, that's my Shivan Reef.
the gorgeous white border copy. Not to be confused with Shivan Gorge, which is not playable. I need to mention that again. Yeah, we need to make sure.
Follow-up. Yeah, absolutely.
Isaac going to... Is he going from 5 to 4 off this fetch, or was he already on 4?
He's going from 5 to 4. Absolutely. So he is dead next turn.
Yeah.
That said, you know, baubbling yourself, shuffling away the card with the polluted delta.
Oh, showing the twister that he wants to draw here. Yeah, so getting a scry off his own bauble.
Like, you can either pay the life and lose a turn that way, or not pay the life and...
Be unhappy with your decisions.
Yeah, draw a blank. Like, you did it.
Isaac's obvious. Yeah, Isaac very, very well versed in these artifact combo decks. He knows what he's doing. Getting the freeze cry off the bauble. All down to this top deck by the looks.
Yeah, Sellitto with the
Is Tom going to flip
shuffles.
it? No. Down to 2. Slam it, Isaac.
Oh, he will. He's a big fan of it. Oh, what?
So he drew for bauble, and he drew for his draw step.
Ooh.
He has found an academy. What's the other card keeping us in suspense? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapping 5 mana like he has a twister or some such.
Yeah, vintage Isaac Egan there. He wasn't going to flip it off the top.
Love that.
He was going to, cook his opponent there as he made him think that he had the nuts. You know, I don't know what he was faking out there.
Being good friends with Tom, obviously, he's got to have a bit of a fun.
That's exactly
fun time with him there.
Congratulations to Sellitto making it through to the finals.
Yeah, blue-red tempo with some wheel effects.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're
Cool
going to be taking a quick break.
Yep.
And then I think Isaac might join me in the booth in the finals.
Yeah,
so
cool,
I don't
for sure.
Call the shot, but Isaac, I don't know if you know this about Isaac. He loves to talk.
He does love to talk.
He loves to talk about magic.
Foil cards, miscut cards.
Oh yeah, he just...
Lots of things.
He loves to be involved in every way that he can. He was actually involved in organising these events.
He was. He organised them to, get a friend down for his birthday event today. Birthday was today.
Happy birthday, Rob Lark, unless you're watching in the future, in which case...
Who knows? Rob Black's birthday today. I did give him a match win today.
How generous of you.
Yeah, very generous of me.
Yeah.
No, he just crushed me. That's fine. Played very well.
All right, we'll be back real soon. Brandon, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, a ton of fun to do a couple of commentary matches. It's fun to watch. I was going to say fun to watch Isaac play and Tom play, but Isaac's not going to be happy with me saying happy to watch him lose. So. Yeah.